If there's like an actual version of you left me with your and now I gotta clean it up, that is your childhood trauma. That's exactly what your childhood trauma is. Hello, mystical light beings, and welcome to Lena Mystic, where we embrace our spiritual awakenings by identifying our personal power and authentic selves. I'm here just to help you to decode spiritual signs and synchronicities so that you can get on your authentic path to purpose. So today I wanted to talk about the Pisces full moon that is coming up on September 20th. This is also called the harvest moon or the corn moon. And you all know that I do full moon gatherings to help us kind of like heal and figure out what we want to manifest so that we can quickly manifest it. And I think a big part of manifestation is healing your past thoughts and acknowledging what your thoughts are and why you feel that you don't deserve something or that you're not worthy of something. I'll get further into that during my full moon gathering. Right now, we're going to talk about this full moon. So what I've been feeling lately is that this Pisces full moon is trying to get us to heal our inner child, to acknowledge our inner child that still has a lot of childhood trauma, a lot of disruption. This disruption that we have in our current life stems a lot from our childhood and the things that we still need to heal from our childhood. Now, unfortunately, when people leave us with pain, heartbreak, and sorrow, it is our job to fix that. It is our job to heal that. And it's very unfortunate because we're like, well, if there's like an actual version of you left me with your and now I gotta clean it up, that is your childhood trauma. That's exactly what your childhood trauma is. It's you cleaning up someone else's messes that they've left you with to deal with. Now, I know it's not easy accepting that you have to clean up someone else's damages or someone else's mess, but when it sticks to you, unfortunately, it's your job to do that. So this full moon is the perfect time to decide, I am going to clean up the messes within my heart, the voids within my heart, the damages that I am still suffering from. I'm going to acknowledge them, I'm going to hear them out, and I'm going to do something about it. Something you may be experiencing at this time is dreams that are allowing you to realize the things that you're still holding on to. Maybe you'll see a certain person in your dream that you didn't think you were attached to. It could be an ex. This is Mercury retrograde as well. Mercury retrograde is coming up. We're in the shadow period right now to Mercury retrograde, so of course exes will come up. But not only are we in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde, we're dealing with this Pisces full moon, which is very emotional and very, inner childish. So what do you do at this time? I recommend spending a lot of time in your own energy, asking yourself what has been weighing heavy on your heart, what has been coming up in your dreams, what has been coming up in your day-to-day life. What triggers are you experiencing? Which reminds me, I did just publish my first book, Healers Break to Heal, the Guide to Forgiveness Workbook, which you can find in the description box. It's on lenamysticoracle.com, and it actually helps you to heal that inner child and to forgive those people who have hurt you so that you can move forward with love and grace and acceptance of who you are in your journey. See, forgiveness is not necessarily about the other person. It is about you being able to cope and let go of something that is poisoning you. So yes, you have an option to buy that book if you so desire to, and I really hope that it does help you. It will help you to figure out trigger words. It will help you to figure out who you are blaming in your life and in your day-to-day for your behaviors or for the way that you feel. But back to this Pisces full moon, I definitely recommend spending much time in your own energy because that is where you're going to find out the truth of yourself and what truths you have been telling, and if they are true or if it's some type of illusion. Right now, you're also going to see a lot of illusions, or you're going to be really offended because you're taking things very personal right now, and not everything is meant to be taken personal. So try to just keep an eye on that. You do not want to react right now. You don't want to react. Honestly, anytime when you're just overwhelmed and you're feeling lots of emotions, you don't want to just react. You kind of want to figure out how you want to handle the situation before you react, because if you think about it, that inner child within us wants to hit people when they upset us. So you don't want to end up doing that. we're adults now, we're older now, we've learned so much more, we're maturing now. So you don't want to have your inner child coming out smacking everybody. That's just not the way to go. But I also wanted to pull an intuitive reading to see, you know, what is this huge energy that's going on. I'm definitely feeling it's time to let go. I said I'm definitely feeling it's time to let go, and it's time to release negativity just came out. So that's funny. That's really funny, actually. Let me see. Something else that I'm feeling is that your heart really desires to heal, which is funny because a green card just came out. Prosperity lies ahead. It's hard to be abundant when you are sitting in chaos, when you're sitting in stress, when you're sitting in... I kind of am getting this word disenchantment, where it's not, you can't be as magical as you would be if you had healed, or you can't be as magical as you would be if you would just let go of this toxicity that's in your life. And this toxicity that's in your life is kind of this holding on to a grudge, or holding on to anger and frustration, or holding on to not wanting to love people in their love language that are in your life. Like, it's a lot of things that, you know, where pride is getting in the way, and this Pisces full moon is asking you to look into that pride and figure out where it stems from. And a lot of the time it comes from your childhood, not feeling completely accepted, being told that you have to do something a certain way. If you're a parent, you could be trying so hard not to be like your parents that you're doing the exact opposite, which is not necessarily good. There has to be a balance of everything. Ask yourself, how can you restore the balance? The full moon is all about how can you restore the balance? How can you become full and whole by restoring that balance? Okay, let's see what else. Emotions are running high, guys. It is like a super moon right now. You're gonna feel a lot of emotions, and that is because the Pisces is very watery. Just think of when something touches the water, it's kind of stuck in there, and that is how Pisces. That's how Pisces are. They kind of stick with stuff. And your Pisces within you, the Pisces within all of us, is begging to come out, begging to be acknowledged, begging to be heard, so that we can heal that inner child, so that we can heal anything that's keeping us from what we really desire in our life, keeping us from what we really deserve in our lives. So what do you think you're not worthy of? Because maybe someone in your childhood told you you're not. What do you think you're not capable of doing? Because maybe someone in your childhood made you feel like you weren't good enough at it. Now, the other thing that, the other cards that popped out are work through your fears. So there's a lot of fears that you may have that stem from, once again, your childhood, or it could stem from a recent experience, but like it spoke to your inner child. Like that's where you were hurt the most. Your inner child heard it and then shut down. It shut down. It's like your ego. And your ego is kind of like your inner child trying to protect you, trying to keep you from danger. But the issue is not that you feel this fear. The issue is that you're not working through it. You're not being brave enough to conquer it. You're not being brave enough to walk through this fear. So be brave enough to walk through your fears. Be brave enough to face your fears and ask yourself where these fears stem from and how you can become closer to your higher self, or closer to God, closer to the divine, or divine-like energy. Don't let pride get in your way. We just talked about this. Sometimes pride really does get in the way. So what are you being prideful about? I always think that people who don't love other people in their love languages are very prideful, and it's like ego-driven. So what is keeping you from loving someone the way that they're asking? Is it because they hurt you before and you don't want them to hurt you again, so you're being prideful and not loving them the way that they desire? So ask yourself those questions. What are you walking with? When are you allowing your pride to come through? When are you walking with pride? Who do you walk with pride with? Like, let's say you're around your boyfriend and you walk with pride. Let's say you're around your mother and you feel like you have to walk with pride. Who are you walking with pride with? Okay. A time for healing. Yes, this moon is a time for healing, which is why it's so crucial for you to spend much time by yourself, much time having fun, much time listening to your inner child, much time documenting your journey, because this is a crucial time for healing. I think this is the last water sign moon of the year, so it's very potent, it's very strong, and it's like going out with a bang. So this Pisces full moon is really asking you, I've tried to come up. This water sign is like, I've tried to come up all year for you, and you keep ignoring me. It's crying right now, and it's asking you to listen to it. So do not deny your inner child at this time. Do not deny your pain at this time. Instead of denying your pain and your sadness, face it and say, I'm listening to you, I'm hearing you out, and I'm compassionate towards you, because you deserve healing. You deserve to be heard. Look at the big picture, or look at the bigger picture. So this to me is telling me that a lot of us are scared to face our fears or face our pain because we think that it's holding us back. But the reality is, you not facing your pain is what's holding you back, what's keeping you stagnant. It's still going to be in your subconscious unless you release it. So you do need to face it so that you can release it. You can't necessarily choose not to face something and then think it's just going to disappear over time. No, in fact, it gets worse. It manifests into your daily activities, into your daily ego. So you don't want that. The last thing is, your dreams need a practical plan. So you need a plan to experience this healing. You need a plan to become closer to your higher self, or who you desire and deserve to be. You can't just think that things are just gonna happen. Sometimes that does happen, but when it comes to healing, it's not necessarily a time thing, but it's something you're gonna have to spend time with. Okay, it's not that you're gonna heal from something in 10 years. There's no actual time limit on it, but the more time that you give to it, the easier it will heal, the more it will heal. So this is a very healing full moon. I hope that this video did help you. If you're interested in purchasing my book, you can go to lenamystikoracle.com. And if you're interested in even in intuitive reading, more intuitive guidance, you can also get me on there as well. I only do bookings through my website right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Go ahead and follow me on social media as well at Lena Mystic Oracle. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. And I will see you in another video. See you guys.